when we go to the plenary of the National Assembly has established, by the way, it's our old secondary school. It is 349, 350, including the speaker, seeking to speak within 3 to 4 hours in an afternoon. And that is why the structure of the functioning of parliament in a presidential system, just like ours, is largely in the committees. When we go to the plenary, by the way, it is showbiz, you know it. A decision has been made following very deep interrogation, including inviting, technical people and persons. And I'll be inviting Martin and Joy, when we come from recess, to sit through a parliamentary committee session when a bill, for instance, or a motion is being, transacted. And you will be shocked at why then people are measuring, the excellence or performance of the National Assembly with the plenary are proceeding, on a wrong basis. It is too much work. And the technical people.
We also know that even those committees, there are technical appearances.
No.
We know.
I want you know rumors. That is why I've extended the invite, that I will take Martin and Joy one day. Talk to technical people who have met Parliament. And Linturi will tell you. I personally went to Parliament thinking it was those big, belly, shallow-headed ones of the past. The Parliament of today has professionals, very deep in their lines. Sometimes you can go to Parliament with a position you prepared on for a month, only for an expert in that line to speak in Parliament, and you change your position immediately. And Ken, I think you've covered some of the committee sessions.
In fact, what he's saying is true. There are members of the committees who walk in and walk out after 2 or 3 minutes. So that's also true.
Very, very serious deliberations.
Yes.
But, and that therefore defines timing. So I want to tell Kenyans, I saw even people saying the performance of Parliament is this, the seats are always red. The thing has been treated in detail by a committee representing the plenary.
That cannot,
unless let me tell you. Ken, let me tell you.
Yes.
When you go to the House of Commons, for instance, in the United Kingdom, the seating capacity is 200, MPs. The number of MPs in total is 600 and something. What does that tell you?
They don't all need to attend.
A member of Parliament has other roles beyond being in the plenary. You have representational roles, you have other issues concerning, your people or the people of Kenya you present. So you may not see a member of Parliament there,
but
I'm seeking an issue
so you agree
in a department
with
of
Oscar Sudi. You agree with Oscar Sudi?
In fact, I agree with him in totality.
Yes.
And by the way, those MPs who are never in the plenary do very well in terms of serving the people.
Okay.
You'll be shocked that Sudi may be. In fact, I think I'm guaranteed will be re-elected again. It is not just legislation, and that is why there are those many roles.
Okay.
There are MPs I know you go into a committee, by the way, they run the committees literally. But in the plenary, you never quite see them. Okay. And that is attendance. Number 2, there is a reason, Ken, as to why in the National Assembly, all MPs vote on every issue, including nominated MPs or MPs representing special interests. And remember what I read to you about representation of the people and special interests. When you go to the Senate, there is also a reason as to why only senators elected from the counties vote when determinations are being made. And you must begin, now seeing where we were coming from. Those nominated senators do not then vote. Why? Because Senate is a house for representation of counties. So that even the idea, in my view, that we have those nominated senators should not be there. They should be nominated in the National Assembly. That is where special interests are represented. Because now they are there earning taxpayers' money, but doing nothing. But lastly, on this, oversight money.
You know why we vote? Let me tell you. Because when you look at what the Constitution talks about, the sovereign power of the will and Article 1, and the power to represent or to act on the people, or on behalf of the people, is ceded to us. I vote as the senator for Meru because I vote on behalf of the Meru people.
Okay.
And any matter that requires the voice of the Meru people, then it cannot be through delegation.
And not the special interest people.
Yes.
Okay. In fact, if there is a nominated senator who wants to vote, he must have been chosen in writing, by the county senator
to come and
to
vote.
vote on his behalf, specifying how he should vote.
Really?
And yes,
which is not an independent.
No, that is the constitution.
Okay.
And this is what I was telling you. Everybody in the county, including the closest of relatives to senators, are represented by the members of parliament in the National Assembly. The senator must look at the county as an entity, as a structure, and then protect it along those issues.
Okay.
No, but I wanted to agree with Joy, because there is the last point on which I want Joy and Martin. One, we are already paid. You get it. We are already paid to do our work, and our work is defined in those articles of the constitutions we are talking about. When a house comes and says, for us to discharge this function for which you are already paid, we need this. I mean, as members of National Assembly, reasonable people, given the power to budget and appropriate and to protect, you know, the monies of the country. Do we just pass the monies?
Okay.
That is the reason as to why we refused. But when we were able to be persuaded this last time, we did pass for the Senate that oversight fund, so that if it is the reason as to why the county, you know, governments are stealing all the monies in Kenya,
let them check them.
Let them check them.
All right.
But money is being stolen at national level,
and they check the national government.
Facilities.
Okay. No, that's not for your response. I mean, he just mentioned it.
The Auditor General has said
he just mentioned it. Now, just briefly, I want to discuss this, Article 108, because this is something that the majority leader raised the other day. He says they passed a resolution that Auditor General Edward Ouko undertakes a special audit into the money allegedly and illegally incurred by the offices of the majority and minority leaders in the Senate. In essence, what Duale and the minority leader in the National Assembly are thinking is, let's dissolve these two positions. I don't know how practical, Martin, that will be.
You see, these positions are created along party lines. They are created for purposes of business in Parliament. And they can be dissolved, they can be retained depending on what there is, what the interests are. For me, is how we approach our legislation or how we approach our national issues. We personalize them. So you don't like so-and-so, so you want to attack that office. That's not the point. The point is, if the majority leaders have failed or these officers have failed, let's interrogate the structures, not necessarily destroy the structures. So I wouldn't agree that what we are looking at here is a total failure and therefore a waste of public resources.
Okay, the fact of the matter, looking at the constitution.
No, but the fact of the matter is this. For me, they don't need to be
look at Article 108.
What is it?
There shall be a leader of the majority party and a leader of the minority party. Sub-Article 2 says, a leader, remember, just one. Majority party and minority party. Sub-Article 2 says, the leader of the majority party shall be the person who is the leader in the National Assembly, and underline that, of the largest party or coalition of parties. Sub-Article 3 says, the leader of the minority party shall be the person who is the leader in the National Assembly of the second largest party or coalition of parties.
You know,
what is the point I'm making? No, let me make the point.
It means Duale is leader of majority in both National Assembly and the Senate.
Because they look at it as Parliament.
The point is that there can only be a leader of majority and a leader of minority in the National Assembly. Those positions are not there for the Senate.
This is the beautiful thing about what Honorable Kaluma is doing today. He's decided to be so narrow in his construction of the Constitution that I'm amazed. Because as a lawyer, you know that we must adopt liberal interpretation. So if you have a house called Senate, you want to tell me it should operate without a leader?
No, they shouldn't have.
I would also have expected him to show us where the deputy leaders of the majority party or minority party are in the constitution, because they exist in the house.
So you're agreeing,
should not be there. What I'm saying is that Murkomen has been earning taxpayers' money in a position which does not exist. And who is the leader of the minority in the Senate currently? Honorable James Orengo, earning taxpayers' money on a position which does not exist.
The Constitution itself says like this, that each house will make its rules and procedures for running the house. So in this
The standing
The
orders.
The standing orders
Yes.
are provided that the
So
Senate
you've
will have a
created in
leader.
your standing orders.
Yeah,
No-
because there's a
the
provision.
Constitution.
The Constitution will not provide for everything.
This is why we have a problem.
Yes.
This is why
It cannot
even the
give you
lawyers
the
who should be helping
integrity
the
of
National
its
Assembly have
Are
decided
messy.
to, you know, when
Take us away.
this constitution was made by us, and we all recognize that there are issues we need to change.
There
There are
And that's
issues
why,
with this
that's why we are talking about
leaders
referendum
of
and referendum
majority.
change, isn't it? So when you see what Honorable
Yeah.
Kaluma is saying,
108.
he's fortifying my belief that we must look at this constitution again and
Awesome.
begin to
Okay.
flesh up things that are not
Do you know what's surprising?